Hello and welcome back to DreamForge Academy. In today's lesson, we're going to wrap up this series and then we will continue with a more advanced series if you still want to learn more advanced concepts and start building things like your own CRM. I have almost finished the recording for all those lessons, so they will be published probably about one a week or so, but it will show advanced features, how to do authentication, how to handle email, and much more. So I hope you will come back for that course, and thank you for making it through this course. So let's finish up today with this course. So just as a quick overview, the lessons that we did in this course covered these 10 lessons: what you'll build, install your toolbox, free accounts that make publishing free, meet your AI pair, Claude Code and Codex, how we created the Next.js site without writing any code, and how you made it yours with prompts, save your work to Git and GitHub, how to go live on Vercel. Then we iterated like a pro to learn a bit more advanced concepts. And in today's last lesson, we're going to cover what do you do go from here, what could you do, what could you build. So I'm going to introduce you to some quick start methods around skills. You probably by now have discovered what skills are, and they are a very useful way to enhance the capabilities of your coding agents. You can create your own skills, or you can create skills that's created by other people. And I will show you two, one of which I created as well, and another one that a friend of mine has created to help you quick start applications in the future. So we're going to recognize the top 10 beginner mistakes before they happen. We're going to know which official sources to consult for each tool that you use. You're going to look up any term used in the course in a single glossary, which is included at the end of this lesson. So you did the hard part and your first site is live. Congratulations. This lesson packages everything you have learned into a reference material that you can then return to later by starting another project. You can even clone the project that you have built if you want to do that. Or some of these guidelines that I've captured in the quick start checklist could be useful for you. So you should use this list whenever you want to start a new website project from scratch. You're going to open your project folder as normal in VS Code. You're going to open the integrated terminal or work inside the IDE. You could then run this command, npx create-next-app at latest. And if you say dot, it will do it in the current folder or give it a project name. Or you can use the quick start one that I've created, which is more sort of an interactive onboarding skill with more advanced features. So try it out and adapt it and adjust it, make it your own. It'll be freely available. This one is called npx skills add brain IT consulting / agentic builder onboarding. And you can find it at skills.sh and many others. So if you're not familiar with skills.sh, just enter this in your browser and you can search for skills here. Just a word of caution, make sure that you pick safe skills. There could be potentially some that is a little suspect. So generally stay with the official ones or the trusted ones, or one that you know the source like me is verified and trusted. So many vendors, so many people sharing their skills. Later on, you may want to include your own skills, but you can do by topic as well if you want. Front-end and React skills, Next.js skills, design and the UI, user interface skills, and so much more. So look at these and use them as needed. Do understand what they do and give the command to your agent to explain what they do and ask if they're safe to use before you do. So the one that I built is right here by Brain IT Consulting, the Agentic Builder onboarding skill. And you just take this command, npx skills add brain IT consulting / agentic builder onboarding, and you give it to your agent. So once you've done that, you would normally, once the localhost is ready to go, run npm run dev on localhost port 3000. By now you know how that works. You're going to send your AI agent a context prompt describing the project shape and what you want to build. But if you use the skill, you'll see how it guides you like an interview to go through it. So whether you do it manually or through a startup quick start skill, either way, there's no wrong answer, just whatever you're comfortable with. You're going to iterate via prompts. That's the basic idea as a revision understanding. You go from hero to about to project to contact to polish. When you're done, you're going to git added, then git committed. Then you create an empty repository in your GitHub. You run the 3 remote commands GitHub shows you: remote add origin, branch with a message to main, push -u to origin and main, or just tell your agent, as you know by now, that you can commit and push and publish depending on what your use case is and what you're busy doing. Or if you're still not sure about the commands, ask the agent to explain. Then once you publish it and deploy it on Vercel, you'll be able to normally see it at the my new app.vercel.app. And so let's dive a little bit deeper to plan this a little bit more. So for your second project, you should pick something still relatively small, a useful idea, and build it the same way. So some examples here that you can build quickly in a weekend, maybe even a day. So a link tree is your single page with links to your social profiles is something you could build. A menu page for a friend's small business, a resume page with your CV context as the home page, as you've seen with my portfolio, a launch page for an idea with an email collection link to a free form service. But whatever you pick, write a goal in one sentence first. Then send that sentence to your agent as the first prompt. The narrower the goal, the faster you will finish. But also, he could help you expand that goal into a good plan to follow. So let's review some of the beginner mistakes in this context. So number 1, trying to understand every line of code before running anything. Don't be scared, just do it. You can always go back. Number 2, picking the current node download instead of LTS. Remember, you need to have the long-term support when you haven't installed Node before. You already have, so don't install it again. Putting your projects folder inside OneDrive, iCloud, or Dropbox. Don't do that. GitHub doesn't like that. Just put it on your SSD drive. You can make a static copy of it on these locations, Dropbox and iCloud and OneDrive, but don't use it to work from. It is really just a secondary backup copy if you want. Your GitHub is really your backup for your local repository that you have on your PC or your MacBook. So skipping the email verification on GitHub, remember you have to use the same emails if possible, and make sure that the password is never shared with anyone, of course. Creating the new GitHub repository with a README pre-filled, don't do that. It might not then explain what your app is doing. Never edit the node modules or the .next files. Don't close the dev server and then wondering why localhost 3000 is dead. If you stop it, your localhost cannot run. Also, don't let it run forever when you don't use the app at the moment. You can always restart it when you're testing or extending the app. Asking the AI to do 5 things in one prompt instead of 5 focused ones. The more context you give it, the smaller chunks you work with, the better results you will get. I know it feels like you are orchestrating and watching the agent, but actually that is exactly what you're doing, and the results are always better. Once you get more advanced, you'll get a feel for when you can give it some rope to run. You'll know how to do checkpoint commits, unit testing, and making sure that it's moving in the right direction and that there's no regression. Regression meaning in high-level terms, making it worse than what it was before. So another common pitfall is pushing tiny half-baked commits like ASDF or work in progress instead of meaningful ones. Always try to think of a functional feature or a portion of a feature, then do a commit. So this way, when you have to roll back or revert it, you know that that little feature or that menu item or that report or that latest update to invoice, whatever it might be, can be safely rewound and you can continue making progress from there. Don't share the long preview URL instead of the short production URL. The preview URL is not really for public use, it's for internal use. And then a handy reference that I put together. So refer to this often, your curated official sources. When something is off, you can learn so much more with the documentation at these sites. I recommend you spend a bit of time visiting each of them and reading their documents. And then I put together a glossary that will help guide you if any terms is still unclear what they mean. So go through this in your own time. So a little note about what comes next then. The idea behind this course is that I was trying to teach you a workflow, not a framework. So it's the same loop. You install your tools, you scaffold the project, you prompt an agent, you save it with Git, you deploy it to Vercel. That is the key. So this works for small sites and even all the way up to full applications, believe it or not. With a proper plan broken into phases and tasks and proper testing and commits, you can build a very complicated application. So when you're ready to add a database, accepting payments, sending an email, or build a multi-page app or a multi-tenant app, like a vet clinic, for example, with multiple vets, like I've done, return to the course catalog. There is a path for each, and we constantly add more. In fact, in the series that I mentioned that I'm planning next is how a small business owner can build their own CRM. So look out for videos on that coming soon. So if you want to, continue with the quiz and mark the lesson as complete when you're done. And then we will start the next series. Thank you for participating in this series, and I hope it was helpful and useful. And hope to see you in the next series. Thank you.